Welcome back to Off the Docks. We just got the Spider-Man trailer, and it's all we care about in life now. There was so much in this trailer that I didn't expect us to see at all, to be
Not
honest. There were
not for a
so...
first trailer.
Yeah, no, this felt like the last trailer.
Yeah,
Like,
this
this
could
felt
have
like,
been the
here's
final
the
trailer.
here's the big shit, go see this movie right now.
Yeah,
But we're not
and
even
we
there
still
yet.
gotta wait like 3 months.
We
Yeah,
got a lot of crazy footage, and according to Tom Holland and, all of the sources that are quoting him on this, he says that this is just the tip of the iceberg, that there's way more coming in like the other trailers and stuff. Like way more. This
oh, I'm sure.
if all of this is only the tip of the iceberg, we don't even know what the hell's going on in this movie. I don't know what to think anymore.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure the majority of this footage is probably just from like the first act.
Yeah, I
Probably,
think so too. I think it's mostly first and second act footage.
yeah.
I
I
think
think the new
maybe the
villains
stuff with the black suit that they show very briefly. I think maybe that
that
stuff
might
might
be
be
near the end of the
like end
movie.
of second act or third act. All right, so the first thing I want to talk about, like overall, the main thing is like the multiverse is confirmed. Like this is real. This isn't like just actors like, oh, I don't understand how I'm coming back, like with Alfred Molina. Like, no, this is real. They say it in the trailer. This is a multiverse movie.
Multiverse is a concept about which we know frighteningly little.
I think the biggest like screw up so far in all this like secret keeping has been that when Jamie Foxx posted about it on his Instagram, which is now taken down, he
Yeah,
when he posted it, he revealed that he is gonna have a new design for Electro. So it left open possibilities that
yeah,
maybe Marvel was just getting him back to play Electro again because he didn't have like a good like scripts to go off of with Amazing Spider-Man 2 and stuff like that. So maybe Marvel's just giving him a second
yeah.
chance kind of thing. Because we know he's going to look
Right.
different. We know he's going to act different. So, maybe it's just a whole new Electro. And it's just, kind of like the Jameson thing. It's just going to be the same actor. And
Right. It was always a possibility.
and so, but the issue was that in his post, he posted that fan art of all three Spider-Men fighting Electro.
Yeah.
And then the
He
entire
posted
internet
that
was
one
like, hey, man,
specifically.
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
I I don't know. I have no idea where the hell this movie's going at all. And I'm fine with that.
It's just ridiculous that this is actually happening. Like when all the rumors about Willem Dafoe actually coming back in this movie, those were the ones that I was the most skeptical on. I was like, yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that.
I
But I
honestly, of
was
all the rumors
proven
that I
wrong.
thought for sure were not true, it was the Norman Osborn one. Like, I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I could believe that, Marvel just got the rights back for Daredevil. I could see that being a cameo. I could see, you know,
I could
I
see
could
that.
see a
I could
lot of
see
this
why
stuff
people
happening.
would want,
I
you
could see
know,
why people think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are coming back because their villains are in the movie and stuff like that. But
the
I was
Alfred Molina one
not.
was a Hollywood Reporter
I
leak,
was
so
like, dude,
that
like
makes
that's
a lot of
Willem
sense.
Dafoe's Green Goblin is one of the villains that, despite his portrayal being so pretty much universally loved, no one's really like demanding him to come back. So when
Yeah.
so when that rumor came out, I thought it was like, oh, it's just like wishful thinking. I don't think that's gonna happen. And then it did. And I was like, what the fuck? And
No.
I'm really glad they didn't show him because
Yeah,
it's
I'm glad they
whatever
didn't show
they're
him either.
going to do to change his appearance is obviously some kind of surprise. Because like
Oh yeah,
the biggest complaint that people have about his Green Goblin is the helmet. People don't like the helmet because you
yeah.
can't see Willem Dafoe's scary ass face. So people are like, why
Well,
did you put him in a Power Ranger helmet? And so I think that that's going to be what they're going to change the most. I think they're going to do something to either kind of emulate like Amazing Spider-Man 2 type thing where he's going to like shift, or it's going
yeah.
to be like a new helmet.
Alfred Molina looks slightly different than he did in the original Spider-Man 2. Electro is obviously going to be very different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Maybe they'll show more of the Green Goblin in a later trailer, or maybe they'll wait for that,
Yeah, I kind of
which I
hope.
wouldn't mind.
I kind of hope if we do see him in the next trailer, it's just a shot of Norman, and that we don't get to see him suit up
Yeah.
yet. If he does suit up, because I don't want them to show too much. I think literally in the next trailer, if they show all the same villains that we just saw in this trailer, and then we get like another like laugh from him or whatever, and then have
Yeah.
like one shot of one of the other Spider-Men at all, even if it doesn't show their face, but just the suit or something.
Something like that.
Yeah,
That would be.
if that's what
so
the
good.
final trailer is, like, there's no way this movie isn't making $1 billion.
I
Like,
mean, there's
at
no
all.
way it isn't now, but
Yeah,
just
I
imagine
think
those trailers.
this
somewhere.
movie has all of like the Spider-Man fans our age and older, like hyped up because
Yeah.
like our childhood villains are coming back already. Even if Tobey Maguire isn't
Yeah.
in the movie,
The fucking
the
Alfred
fact
Molina's
that
Doc Ock
and Green
was
Goblin,
like one of my favorite villains.
yeah, the fact that Doc Ock and Green Goblin are coming back at all is going to make all of the adults go see this
Yeah.
movie. And of course,
Absolutely.
you
He was-
still have the younger audience that's very much attached to Tom Holland's Spider-Man with the Avengers franchise and
Yeah.
everything like that. So, like, you have all the MCU fans that are attached to Tom Holland, all of the Tom Holland fans that just prefer him in general, and then now you're going to have all of the Tobey Maguire fans as well rushing to see what the hell's
Yeah.
going on. So, like, this movie,
That's
if they do this
crazy.
right, and these really are all actually from Tobey Maguire's universe, and like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are in this movie and stuff, this movie's gonna bridge like the 3 generations of Spider-Man fans. Like, this is gonna bring a whole lot of people to the theater. I haven't been excited for a Spider-Man project since the PS4 game was coming out.
I know.
I'm serious. When they showed the
it's
first
insane.
gameplay for the PS4 game and they was like in the raft prison and he's fighting like Electro and everybody, I was like, dude, I'm buying this game right now. I actually went out and bought the $500 version of the PS4 with the Spider-Man
Yeah.
logo on it just because I had to have it.
I remember that.
I could have
Yeah,
went out and
no.
got a $300 PS4 and played the game anyways, but I had to have the Spider-Man one. It was like a legal requirement. I needed it. Yeah, I really liked that the MCU kind of adopted the White Spider logo,
Yeah.
because
I love that.
I really thought it was like a really cool new thing that Insomniac was doing with the suit, and
Yeah.
I was kind of excited to see it stick. People really liked it, and like I
I've
thought
always
most
loved it.
people were gonna
Yeah.
be mad, like when they changed the logo so much when they did Andrew Garfield's. People were really pissed. And while it's not my favorite Spider-Man logo, I don't hate it. I'm like, I don't go out of my way to actively shit on on the Spider-Man
Yeah,
logo
exactly.
from that movie, but a lot of people did. So when Insomniac changed theirs, and it looks like the Raimi logo, but it's white and it's like a little different, I thought
Yeah.
people were gonna be like really mad.
I know.
But it ended up sticking. Everyone loves it, which I'm
It looked great. Yeah.
yeah, it's just super clean. The white on red, it just pops really like bright.
Yeah. I love that color scheme so much.
Speaking of suits, the black and gold suit was shown for like 3 milliseconds in this damn trailer.
When Mysterio revealed my identity,
I know.
It's so fast that literally if you blink you'll miss it. Like,
Yeah. Pretty much.
I had to put the trailer in 0.25 speed to get screenshots of the suit, and they're still blurry.
Yeah, and even still, it's like not that easy to get screenshots of.
Yeah, it's like, I noticed even IGN posted pictures of the pumpkin bomb and stuff, and even their pictures are blurry. Like, nobody can get clear photos of this trailer because it's so fast. There's just way too
Yeah.
much stuff moving.
I didn't even think about the fact that the whole plot was that Peter goes to Doctor Strange to try and make everyone forget about his identity. That's a great idea. I'd never
Yeah,
even thought about that.
I really thought with the way the last two movies went, and they kind of, for lack of a better word, kind of shrug off Peter's like punishments essentially. Like,
Mhm.
I really thought they were gonna like wrap it up within the first act of whatever was going on with his identity, and then that was
Yeah.
like they would move on with whatever the hell else was happening in the movie. I didn't think that Doctor
Right.
Strange was gonna be the reason that all of this happens, like at all.
Yeah.
I thought that Peter was going to do something bad that would cause all of this to happen, which I mean technically he kind of does because he's tampering with the spell while Strange is making it,
Yeah. Technically, that is what happens, but it's actually
but I thought
Doctor
it was going to
Strange
be
that's
outside
also
of
responsible.
Doctor Strange. I thought the reason Doctor Strange was going to come into the movie was because Peter messes with something that breaks reality. I didn't think he was going to come into it just to help Peter.
Yeah. No, me neither. I didn't actually think of that at all. He was going to use Doctor Strange to try and fix everything, and then that's when it goes wrong. But
Yeah.
it's a great way. It's a great way to introduce the multiverse.
And Benedict Cumberbatch, his like line delivery as Doctor Strange is always so fucking good. Like especially
He's
later in
always
the thing. A lot
perfect.
of like I know we discussed it before, but a lot of people think that the voice that happens when the screen blacks out is Willem Dafoe's, and I don't think it is. It doesn't sound like Willem Dafoe to me. I
No,
rewatched
it
the
doesn't
trailer a
sound like
couple
Willem
times
Dafoe
before
to
we
me at
recorded
all.
this, and I think it's wishful thinking. I think people think that because the pumpkin bomb was there. I don't think it's Willem Dafoe saying that line. I think it's Doctor Strange.
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like Benedict Cumberbatch's voice, not Willem Dafoe's.
Yeah.
But that line, dude, like, be careful what you wish for, is very much
So
true.
good.
Because the interesting part is, like, if the entire world forgets that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, that doesn't necessarily remove the fact that Spider-Man killed Mysterio.
Yeah.
So,
Because Spider-Man would still be on the run.
yeah. So they would just not know who Spider-Man was. But they would still
Yeah.
know Spider-Man's a bad guy. So that would turn all of the Avengers against him as well. Which I don't think they really thought that through.
That's probably not going to be a part of it. One thing to bring up that I thought was interesting, does it look like there's a shot or a couple of shots in the trailer where Doctor Strange is on top of a train and Spider-Man's there with him? Does it
Yeah.
look to you that they're fighting each other?
The problem is you trying to live two different lives.
It looks like they're fighting each other to me.
I don't know. There was a rumor that like the first and second act of the movie was gonna be like he captures the people that are coming through the multiverse,
Yeah.
and that Peter would think it's wrong to send them back or some shit. Because that was part of the rumor that they're pulled out just before their death, so they still hate Spider-Man. Like none of the villains ever had their
Right.
redemption moment before they died in the Tobey Maguire movies. So some people think that's how they're going to explain why they all still want to kill Spider-Man. But
I mean, fucking all the rumors are true for this movie.
all the rumors
Fucking-
seem to be true. So if this is true, sorry for spoiling it, guys.
No.
But yeah, so essentially,
Honestly,
like,
what's
the
not true
person
about this
said
one?
that Doctor Strange would be capturing the people that are coming through the multiverse, trying to figure out
Yeah.
how to send them back, and Peter would let them go because he doesn't think it's fair to sentence them to death in their universe just because they came through
Yeah.
because of his mistake. So, like, he's not going to be thinking of it as, they're destined to die in their universe, and they are bad people. He's going to be thinking of it as, they deserve a second chance. We shouldn't just kill them.
That would definitely be an interesting way to go.
So I could see that being a reason that Doctor Strange has to fight Peter. because Peter's trying to stop him from sending the villains home.
Sending them back. Very interesting.
Because there's been a lot of shots in the trailer that look like they're all underground in the Sanctum. Like
yeah,
where he
they're
casts that spell.
they
There's
released
a couple
of
shots,
screenshots. Yeah.
like that look like they're down there, and a shot of like later in the movie, Peter's like wearing a suit or something, and there's a big like shadowy figure behind him. That comes charging at him, which a lot of people think is either Venom or the Lizard.
I'm pretty sure that's the Lizard.
I'm 99% sure
of that...
it's the Lizard. I'm gonna show a clip of it in here in like slow motion in the right side of the figure in the frame. I noticed it last time I watched it. If you look very closely, it looks like a tail swings forward next to his leg.
Oh, okay.
So I'm about 90% sure that that's the Lizard. However, it could not be the Lizard. It could be Scorpion because they set him up in Spider-Man: Homecoming.
True. Could be the Scorpion.
So it could still be Scorpion. So, but I don't think that it's Tom Hardy's Venom at all. I don't think it's Tom Hardy's Venom. If Tom Hardy is in the movie, I'm probably like gonna cry even harder because his Venom is fucking amazing, and to see him fight the 3 Spider-Men would like change my life. But
to me, the background of that scene looks kind of like the Lizard's lair in the sewer from Amazing Spider-Man 1.
Yeah, I would not be...
Like
that makes perfect sense if he's hiding underground again, because that's what the Lizard always does. So
exactly.
I don't know. I think that that's most likely the Lizard. In which case we have...
I think so. Yeah.
At least 2 Tobey Maguire movie villains and 2 Andrew Garfield movie villains. I still believe in the theory that Mysterio is not dead.
Oh yeah, I don't think Mysterio's dead.
When Peter asks the glasses, this is like one of the things people think that no, it's impossible for him to come back because the thing Edith said that he's dead. She didn't say he's dead. He asked if it was real, and she said all illusions are down. That doesn't mean he didn't fake his death. That means that the drones weren't projecting anything anymore.
Yeah. So he could still be just lying there faking that he's dead.
Yeah. That's the entire premise of Mysterio's character is that he's a genius who tricks everyone. So I could totally see that like if he used practical stuff to make it look like he died.
Like he died.
So that Peter would believe that he's dead, but he's not really dead.
Yeah. That's completely possible. Sandman, very possible that the figure in the trailer is the Sandman.
Yeah, during like some type of freak storm, which is definitely because of Electro.
Oh yeah.
There is like a big cloud of like dust or something that kicks up that looks like it's shaped like a man in one very, very quick shot.
It's a cloud of dust and it's a bunch of like rocks and earth.
Yeah. And it's so fast that I couldn't get a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's possible that it's Sandman.
Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman was another one of the rumored villains to be in this movie. So, and after Willem Dafoe was confirmed, fucking anything's possible at this point.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at this point, if anybody comes out and says, "Oh, like this person's leaked for the movie," I'm gonna believe it. Like, I'm gonna be like, "Yeah, probably." Every single one's been true so far. I don't know. There's nothing I can really say to disprove it because every time I think it's not gonna happen, it fucking happens. So.
Yeah, it seems like that's what it's gonna be. Is like the final act of the movie is gonna have Sinister Six more than likely facing off against like the different Spider-Men and probably Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Well, I know one of the biggest rumors for this movie, pretty much since Far From Home came out, has been that Daredevil was going to appear in this movie. But
That
the
too,
rumor
yeah.
has always been that he will only appear as Matt Murdock. However,
Yeah.
it is still technically possible that at the end of the movie, during the big final fight, Daredevil could show up to help them.
Yeah.
As
No,
a
absolutely.
surprise. Because you might be sitting there being like, oh my god, there's 3 Spider-Man and Doctor Strange right now. Like, this is the greatest movie of all time. And then
fucking
and then Daredevil shows up and starts beating the shit out of people. And
How
at that
amazing
point,
would that be?
At that point, what would you even do? Nothing. There's nothing you can do. You'd just be in so much shock. I'd be sitting there with like my mouth like just like jaw dropped to the floor, like just watching that movie. Like I'd be so glued to the screen.
They need like one more hero to balance it out. Have 6 heroes, 6 villains.
Miles Morales. That was another rumor.
Miles Morales. That was another rumor.
Oh, you know what? Maybe one of the villains is gonna be one of the 6.
A Miles Morales villain.
Maybe it will be Prowler, because Donald Glover was being set up to be Prowler in Homecoming because he was gonna buy the climbers from Vulture's crew.
True.
So Donald Glover could show up as Prowler and fight a new live-action Miles Morales in this movie if that leak is true.
That'd be so fucking crazy.
Dude, I don't even know what to think anymore. There's like way too much going on.
I don't know.
We're most likely at the very least getting 4 villains in this movie, regardless of how long they're in the movie. So
we're getting 4 villains.
4 villains, 3 Spider-Man, possibly. That's like one of the biggest things. I mean, Tobey Maguire was spotted at like the costume fitting building that they were using, and Andrew Garfield is the worst liar on the fucking planet. If dude, if he's in this movie, nobody should ever have him in anything secret again. I'm telling you right now.
No.
Because he literally, his whole shtick is that he's telling everybody that it's like playing a game of werewolf where you're the werewolf. You have to convince people you're not the werewolf.
Yeah.
So what he's really saying is, I'm in the movie, but I have to convince you I'm not in the movie. Which is not a good cover-up. I'm just saying.
That's hilarious. I love that.
His whole premise, he thinks that what he's saying is like he has to, like, oh, it's hard because you have to convince people. But his argument really is, I'm in the movie, but I can't tell you. Which is not good. If he's in this movie, he's fired. I can't believe that Jamie Foxx, of all people, man. Like, if you were gonna like accidentally say anything about your movie, it'd be one thing to be like, oh yeah, dude, I'm in this movie, I'm so excited, blah blah blah, like he did. But why? Why the fuck, when nothing about this movie has been announced, did you post a fan art of all 3 Spider-Men fighting Electro?
Yeah, that's a bit suspicious.
Because if they're in this movie, he basically told us from the very first article about this movie that this is a multiverse movie. If this movie really has all of these goddamn characters that are rumored in it, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna spend the whole movie sitting in the theater like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Like, every time something comes on screen, I feel like every single person in the theater is gonna cheer. Like, every scene sounds like it's gonna have some massive fucking cameo. I don't even know what to think anymore.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about this movie.
And Doctor Strange, I mean, the fact that they're borrowing from those comic book storylines where he does a spell to help Spider-Man is really interesting. But speaking of comic storylines, you caught something that I didn't even notice.
Yep. So, it is something that I was looking through the trailer, and I'm pretty sure other people on the internet have already spotted this too, but the end of the trailer shows the Green Goblin's pumpkin bomb blowing up a bridge, and then on that same bridge is where Doc Ock shows up at the end and says, "Hello, Peter."
Be careful what you wish for, Parker.
Hello, Peter.
There's a sign there as the explosion is happening from Green Goblin's pumpkin bomb that the bridge they're standing on is George Washington Bridge, which, if you've read the comics, you know that's where the night Gwen Stacy died happens. So, my theory is that Green Goblin's there, it's on the George Washington Bridge. It's very possible that the Green Goblin kills one of the main characters important to Tom Holland's Peter Parker. The obvious one being MJ, but as you were saying, it could be other characters too.
Anything's possible. I do think MJ is more possible, though, because Peter seems very concerned about losing her in this movie. Like, literally, just talking to Doctor Strange, he was like, oh, but what if she forgets all the stuff we've been through? Would she forget she's in love with me? Stuff like that. So,
yeah,
I could see, you know, them killing her off, and he's fighting so hard to keep her in the loop, but also keep her safe. Especially because now they showed that shot of them walking into the courthouse. MJ is holding his hand in that scene.
Yeah.
So every villain who knows about Spider-Man now knows about MJ.
We'll know about MJ. Yeah, exactly.
So it is very possible that they're going to kill MJ in this movie, I think.
I would love if Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, like, kind of tries to comfort him because he went through that too.
Yeah.
In his last movie.
To see his experience reflected in another Spider-Man, and then that, like, give him, like, strength. That would be really cool to see.
I have a feeling that the villains, actually probably all the multiverse characters in this movie, are probably not the exact same versions from the past movies. What makes me think that is, well, for one, we know Electro is not going to be the same Electro. He's not even close to the version from Amazing Spider-Man 2. Then we have something we can't talk about right now, we're going to talk about in a little bit, but something to do with Willem Dafoe's The Green Goblin.
Yeah.
And then we have Doc Ock, which he shows up in this trailer, and, you know, for on first viewing, he looks like fucking exactly the same. He's wearing the green trench coat that he wore in the last movie. And, you know, the arms look pretty similar. But if you take a look and take the time to compare the two versions of him, there are a few differences that I think would have been pretty obvious to any costume designer or anything like that. But I don't think he is the exact same version from Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's possible that they may just be pulling different versions of the characters out, and then if the other two Spider-Men show up, they're going to freak out because they're like, motherfucker, we just fought these guys.
That's also a possibility. Those versions, like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, are the versions we know, and the villains are
I think
different.
That's more likely, to be honest. I think
that would be cool.
I think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield are going to be the exact same Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield that we lost years ago, you know? And I think that's going to be, like, for nostalgia purposes. We're going to get, like, those exact versions of those characters are going to come out.
And then the villains are the...
And then the villains
different.
are, like, multiversal versions of the villains that aren't directly from their movies, but they're the same actors. The interesting part is Tobey, like, he didn't really win any fights against Doc Ock.
No.
He reasoned with him, and then Doc Ock sacrificed himself. So I don't know what they're going to do with this one. If he fights Tobey Maguire, somebody better keep an eye on Tobey, because he's going to be getting his ass fucking whipped.
He's going to be losing his fight.
Yeah, he's going to be getting his shit whipped in the background while everybody else is fighting. He's going to get tossed around like Loki at the end of Avengers, just getting fucking whipped all over the floor.
I was going back and I was seeing around October 26th-ish is when No Way Home started filming. So late October. A few days later is when Jacob Batalon posts pictures of himself with his complete weight loss. Right? Like he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he did.
But if you notice in the trailers, Ned looks the same. The pictures, the shots that they show of Ned, because this takes place like right after the last movie, he looks the same. I'm kind of thinking that maybe a multiversal version of Ned as the Hobgoblin shows
Oh
up.
my god, bro.
And they filmed that part early so that, he had the time to lose the weight, shoot all of his scenes, and then gain the weight back to shoot the scenes of normal Ned from the regular MCU.
I never thought about that. That's pretty genius. Ooh, you know what? What if Green Goblin has some of his serum still?
Oh.
Because
So it affects like the real Ned.
Yeah. He could turn the real Ned into a Green Goblin because it affects your mental state.
Oh, that'd be fucked up. Like in the middle of the movie, he captures Ned, and then he comes back in the final battle as
Hobgoblin, yeah.
the Hobgoblin. That'd be crazy.
Because if the rumor was that Ned dies in this movie, what if the reason Ned dies is because Peter has to stop him?
Damn. That'd be crazy.
I don't know. Now that you say that, though, that is a pretty good possibility.
Yeah.
Because I didn't even think about that. It is possible that one of the villains we haven't seen yet, if they do Sinister Six, could be Ned.
Yeah. I think it's very possible that it's the Hobgoblin.
Damn, bro. Big sad.
That'd be so crazy. That'd be so crazy.
Dude.
I love it.
Man. I didn't even think about that because I had been saying this whole time, like, there's no way they could do anything to get rid of Ned because he's, like, the funny one of the movies.
Yeah.
But, I mean, then again, technically Tom Holland isn't signed on for any more movies after this.
Yeah.
So they could
that
literally...
could be their big ending.
Yeah, their big ending could be that they fix the multiverse, Ned is dead, and he, learns to be a much more mature Spider-Man. And then that's, like, the end. But,
I don't know, did you want to talk about the leaks and stuff?
Yes. So,
Okay.
for those of you who don't want spoilers, now is your chance to leave. I can't 110% guarantee that these pictures are real, but I can't guarantee they're fake either. So if they are real, these are spoilers. So if you want to stick around, we're going to talk about 3 different pictures. If not, get out of here. This is your only warning.
Get out of here. So I guess the first one we can talk about was Doc Ock.
Yeah.
As you can see, this is the big one that made me realize that this was pretty real because he's wearing the jacket. He's wearing the classic green coat that we see him wearing in the trailer, and we can see where the tentacles would be CGI'd in. But he has, not only does he have dark and curly hair, which he doesn't have in Spider-Man 2, he looks like Alfred Molina does now. He looks older. So, and we know from the trailer and from Alfred Molina himself that they de-aged him using CGI.
Yeah.
So, that's what made it, like, real to me. It looks like maybe he's in, like, a lair of some kind, maybe some kind of hiding place.
I don't know. I mean, I have been fooled by Photoshop before. There are
Photoshop
some people
can
out
do
there
some
that
crazy
are
shit.
ridiculously good at it. So, like
Yeah.
I said, there's no 110% guarantee until the movie comes out that these pictures are real. But they look damn convincing.
But okay, so there's that one. I think we'll go to probably the Electro one next. If this is real, then yeah, this is definitely not the same Electro from the last movie. He's not mutated at all. He's just Jamie Foxx in a leather, in a like a construction coat, like a green and yellow construction coat.
Yeah.
But it's like a drastically different design from the last movie, so I don't think this is the same version of the character. Granted, these are all pre-VFX shots, so it could be that there's some CGI missing here that would make his character look a bit different, but either way, it's definitely not the same version of the character.
Yeah, I think looking at the picture, it definitely doesn't look like it's the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Electro. It's obviously the same actor,
No.
but he
Right.
looks completely different. Even when they show him before he becomes Electro in Amazing Spider-Man 2, he
Yeah.
looks completely different from this. But it could, however, I did notice in the picture, it looks like he's just wearing work clothes. Like he's not really wearing like a costume.
A costume, yeah.
So it could either be that maybe he just wears that and that is his costume, or maybe that is a leak from an origin scene that we're gonna see in
Yeah.
the movie. He could become Electro for the MCU in this movie.
That's a very good possibility. I think they're gonna go the Shocker route, like they did in Homecoming, where his costume has like the same colors as his comic book costume, but it's not gonna be any like big
Like big
outfit.
budget. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like street clothes or, like you said, work clothes right here. So
Yeah, I mean I'm also excited that they're going more for the classic style. I think it suits the MCU more. Because they're doing a
yeah,
lot
for
more
sure.
classic looking versions of all the characters. Like Tom Holland's first like real Spider-Man suit was like the 60s like
Yeah,
Steve Ditko type suit,
yeah.
and
Steve Ditko style suit.
he even has like the red
Mysterio was very
wings.
classic.
Yeah, Mysterio has the
Yeah,
fishbowl helmet, which everybody thought they were going to change, but they didn't. I do think that Electro, this version of Electro, fits way better than the Amazing Spider-Man one would have in the
yeah.
MCU. I think the
It definitely fits.
really like sci-fi-ish like Blue Lightning Electro would have been very strange in this movie because everybody else is going to be like mechanical type
Yeah.
characters, and then you just have like this blue guy show up and he's like exploding everything. I think it would look like really weird and out of place in those fight scenes.
So this third one here, it is Willem Dafoe, seemingly in his Green Goblin outfit, but it's got a bit of an upgrade and a bit of a change that I don't think will be unwelcome from fans.
Yeah, the second I looked at the picture, I was like, oh yeah, it's it really is Willem Dafoe. But then I like looked down a centimeter from his face and was immediately hyped because if there is
Yeah,
anything that I love the old Spider-Man, so I understand why people complain about his costume, but I still love it.
yeah,
And I guess that is mostly nostalgia. I'm not even gonna bullshit, to be honest. Like if they made a Green
yeah.
Goblin now and he looked like that, I'd be like, oh, like that's kind of whack, but whatever.
It bothers me
but
in some places, but it's all right. I don't
but
hate it.
I understand. They didn't have the budgeting and stuff that they do now to do. If they made a Green Goblin now, they could fully CGI him into like a legit scary ass goblin monster
Yeah,
that just happens to be in like a flight suit with the glider and the hood and everything. So, but seeing the cloak being worked into that costume is very exciting for me.
I I love the fact that they're working in the cloak, the purple hood. I think it's gonna look great.
Comment down below what you guys thought of the trailer. Let us know what you think is going to happen, what you want to see from the villains, what other villains you think are in the movie, and who the hell is the shadowy ass monster in the dark. And we'll see you guys next time.